Hello, hello. It takes a minute for Facebook to do the thing where it tells you I'm here and also to reset my screen. There it goes. Cuz usually I'm talking down here and then it all of a sudden pops up here. Hello everyone. My name's Megan. If you didn't know me, hi, I'm the admin of this group. I am a wellness coach. I chat a lot about things wellness. Now, wellness is not just losing weight, but that is what people that I work with tend to focus on. We also tend to focus on feeling better instead of feeling really fatigued or overwhelmed, constantly stressed. So, those things are all related. I am outside right now, so if you hear the truck pulling up right there or the motorcycles that tend to be in the back, apologies, but I wanted to come on here and talk about give you some really actionable tips. I want this to be a place where you can find education and information, and then when you are trying to be on your weight loss journey or your health journey, I can help you get there quicker. So that is what I'm here to do. Today's topic is all about 5 ways that you can add protein into your diet so you can hit those protein goals without having to basically resort to protein bars. So trying to make this really strategic and helpful. Now, a little background when you kind of zoom out. When you think about your protein goals, everyone has a different protein goal, and it's also based on your age, your male, female, how much muscle you currently have, how much activity you are currently doing. So someone who's just walking every day has a very different activity level from someone who's getting 10,000 steps and doing 5 workouts, 6 workouts a week. So all of these things play into it. And by the way, I am hosting all week. I'm kind of prepping because when I get back, as you can see, I'm traveling right now. But next week I'm doing these nutrition audits. So if you're curious, how much protein you should be getting, you should book a nutrition audit with me. They're free, they're 10 minutes, just diving into a very brief overview about what your goals are, what you need. And so you could walk away with that saying oh, I actually need to be getting this amount of protein instead of this. So a lot of people come to me and they're like, oh, this nutritionist, this dietitian, this person, whomever, this trainer told me I need to be having 175 grams of protein a day. And that's not where I start people. I tend to be somewhere between the 90 and 120 gram ish. Again, depending on your goals and your nutrition levels. But let me help you with that. So if you are curious, I'm not going to do it right now. I can't multitask with all the things. But let me help you figure out your protein goals. My clients actually don't, most of them, I will say some of them do, but most of them, they don't even weigh out their protein to begin with. We just focus on healthy habits, getting the good foods in and focusing on the good rather than trying to crowd out the bad, basically. Instead of what you can't eat, what you can eat. And so we don't necessarily weigh food. It's a tool. It's not the only tool. We focus on portion sizes and a balanced plate approach instead of being oh, I have to have exactly 53 grams to meet my macros. I don't need you to feel restricted and overwhelmed. And that way, let's just get the good habits rolling. All right, so here's those 5 tips. There's the background for you. Trying to give you some relevant background, but also knowing that you're busy and if you're watching this, taking time and you want to get those 5 tips. So number 1, this isn't a protein bar, but it can be really helpful, is start your day with a protein shake or a smoothie. Both of those are really helpful. Personally, I like smoothies because they taste better and they have produce in them, and whether that's greens or berries or whatever, those smoothies are overall really helpful. That's a good way to add at least 15 to 25, 30 grams of protein into your first meal, which is really key. The second thing is when you are eating a meal, ideally, right, 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, you want to prioritize your lean animal proteins into each meal. So lean proteins are chicken, turkey, those are good. I like shrimp a lot. I like salmon a lot. Sometimes for certain people, eggs can be really helpful. Sometimes lean beef. It depends, again, on your goals and your what you like and what you can eat. Now, I will say lean animal protein is optimal. However, if you're vegan, that's not an option for you, right? If you're vegetarian. So there are other proteins that you can have. So that's kind of number 2 is there are also high protein plant foods. What are those? lentils is a really high protein one. So if you had a cooked cup of lentils, that's like 18 grams of protein, which is quite a bit for a plant. Other high protein ones are chickpeas or black beans. In a more processed manner, you would get like tofu or tempeh, like that's processed soy. I would still call that like a overall whole food based, even though it's lightly processed. Edamame is another soy. So those are all really helpful, and you might want to add in a complex grain that is high protein like quinoa. So those are some specifics, like having those proteins from plants can be another really great way to add in and get to your protein goals. Number 3, I would say for certain people at certain goals, nuts and seeds can also be really helpful. So I really love hemp seed. If you take, I want to say it's like 3 tablespoons. Check me on this before, check your nutrition labels. But there's about 10 grams of protein per 3 tablespoons. And so for me, when I'm doing this, I don't know if it's a tablespoon. I measured this a long time ago, but I have a scoop. And that scoop translates. I put 3 scoops into my smoothie. But there could also be chia seeds. Chia seeds have some protein. And I would say other seeds and nuts, like say almonds or walnuts, sunflower seeds, those have smaller amounts. They're really more of like a fat than a protein purely, but if you add them, like say add them onto a loaded salad, they all of those can be really great added protein. Okay, now let's chat about eggs. Eggs is number 4. Eggs are sometimes a really good way to add protein. Now a lot of people are actually sensitive to eggs, and so usually when I work with people one-on-one or my group, we have removed eggs for the first few weeks, and then we add them back very strategically because we want to see if they cause any inflammation, and for some people they certainly do. But eggs can be a good way, like as a snack you have a hard-boiled egg, as breakfast you have an omelet, as if you have a salad you put eggs on top of that, or you incorporate them into, like if you were making muffins or something, or pancakes, like you could have them there as well. And they're a whole food. I wish that I could eat more eggs. I'm like slightly sensitive, and so I know that when I've had them I can tell, but I wish, because we have our own chickens, and so like I'm like, they're like right there, and I know that they're really good. And so I've noticed for me, pasture-based eggs are much better, and I can tolerate them a lot more when they are grown on grass and they eat more of like the bugs and all the things outside than when they are more like conventional. So that's a big key difference for you as well. And then the last one is nope, I've done all 5. So the last one, going back to the beginning, is if you're in a pinch, make a protein shake, right? Protein shakes and smoothies are a really good way to add that protein in on top of the whole foods that you're getting already. So getting live, this is the unscripted version, so you're seeing that. So 5 things that you can do. I'll kind of recap them real quick. Number 1, smoothies, or at least a protein shake, add a protein powder in, but I prefer with having the produce there. Number 2, have animal protein, lean protein at every meal. Number 3, plant protein, like adding that on top of your meals. Number 4, having your nuts, seeds, like hemp seed especially, like throwing that into a smoothie, putting it on top of a salad. And number 5, eggs, but more strategic there. So there's no pitch here. There's me just chatting, but I would love to see, if you watch this, like which one are you most excited to add in? Maybe you're not doing already. Which one is something you want to add into your routine? That would be a good thing to comment here. And the more people that comment, like the more this video gets seen, so I can like actually share this with more people. So that is really helpful. Please help me do that. Comment on here, like it, if it's helpful to you, let me help you and help other people as well. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. We are traveling, so I'm going to go be with my family, be with my kids, but I want to support you all. You all are really important to me as well. So I hope you have a good rest of your day.